Hello there, Debate This listener. It is I, Matt, and I just wanted to give you a quick little intro to this podcast. It is a recording of our first ever live show. If you haven't heard us talk about it yet, we were in Milwaukee, Wisconsin at the Midwestern Gaming Classic last weekend as of the day this episode goes live. And we got to do our first ever live show on the bonus stage over there, and it went incredibly well. This is the recording of that live show. It is a brand new, fresh DT episode that nobody has ever heard before until, right after I'm done talking. And except for all those people that were there, they heard it because they were there because it was live and it was crazy. A couple of quick things. Thing number one, because it is a live show, the audio is different. I don't want to say it's bad. I'm honestly pretty happy with the recording quality that we came away with, but the audio does sound a little bit different, so please just bear with us. This was recorded on a stage in a concrete room in front of a live audience at a convention. It is what it is. Thing number two, unfortunately, Kyle wasn't able to make it to this con with us, and we were super bummed not to have him there. But we soldiered on with just Andrew, Todd, and I. So there just didn't want there to be any questions as to where Kyle was. He couldn't make it out with us. And he will be back next week. And last but not least, you will hear both Andrew and Todd, and I guess also me, reference a PowerPoint presentation that was going along with our live show. You can find a link to that PowerPoint presentation right in the show notes of this episode. So check your podcast app of choice, look at the show notes, and you will also be able to see the dumb PowerPoint that was 44 whole slides, mind you, that Todd and Andrew put together for this debate. So without further ado, I will turn it over to myself from last weekend at the Midwestern Gaming Classic in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Welcome to season 6, where we're phoning it in.
You don't think critically and then put a Pop-Tart into your body.
I am highly caffeinated and minorly concussed.
Aruga! What came first, the love sack or the gravity gun?
It's my turn to do a sin with Sonic.
This is for the freaks.
Too much piss.
That's the kind of bad decisions we like to hear about.
Love me a sleepy ass bat.
How much shrimp can you fit in your mortal body?
You told me you guys would be cool.
That's season 6 intro material right there.
Well, are we ready to start a podcast?
Let's start a podcast.
All right.
Let's do a podcast.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna. So usually, hey everybody.
Hi.
How's it going? My name is Matt.
I'm Andrew.
This is Andrew.
I'm Todd.
That's Todd. We're a podcast. You might have met us at our table today. This is our first ever live show. So in a minute. Oh, thanks.
You're the best.
Yes.
You're all the best.
So in a minute, I'm gonna do the script, and you're gonna hear all that again. But it just Anyway,
Pretend it's the first time you're hearing it.
Yeah.
Fully immersive podcasting.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool. All right, hey, are you guys ready?
Perfect. We love it.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
Just like when we record at home and our partners are like, "Woo, you're doing great."
Yeah.
We need a podcast.
They love when we do this.
Yeah.
All of our wives love us.
Yeah.
All right, so anyway, hello and welcome to the first ever Debate This live show, and welcome to Debate This. We are a show that takes time out of our busy adult lives to talk about comic books, video games, and how 1995's Mortal Kombat walked so that 2023's Dungeons and Dragons movie could run.
I actually heard that's pretty good.
Yeah, I've been hearing that
All
too.
the early reviews are really good of the movie.
Have any of you guys seen the D&D movie yet?
Is it out yet?
Anyone seen it yet?
Hey,
we got one. All right,
yeah,
cool.
thumbs up, thumbs down.
Thanks for playing along.
Thumbs up.
We got a thumbs up.
All right.
Unanimous, all thumbs up for Dungeons and Dragons movie. We can move on.
All right, we go on. Awesome. So, more importantly, like I've said 3 or 4 times, welcome to the first ever Debate This live show. Hopefully, some of you met us on the show floor today, and maybe some of you have even heard of our silly podcast before. But for the sake of the uninitiated, please allow me to explain what you are about to see. We are, as I said a moment ago, a podcast about comic books and video games, but we strive to answer the most important questions in that space. Now, we're not here to argue if Banjo-Kazooie is harder than Elden Ring. It is.
It's not.
Or if Goku could beat up Superman. He can't. No, we're here to debate important things, like what is the best band you could make only with video game characters who play instruments canonically in video games? Or which end game boss would be better as a romance option?
That's actually a really good question. The answer may surprise you.
Yeah.
But today we are gathered here to debate something very important. Today we are here to build ourselves a remake. It is certainly hard to believe that as of about 6 months ago, the Nintendo GameCube is old enough to drink. That makes the GameCube a retro console, and by extension, most of its library retro games.
I feel so bad.
Oh, I don't
feel
like
so
that.
bad.
So, as I rub icy hot on my aching back and consider applying for an AARP card, I've invited my co-hosts Andrew Kukuyard Henderson and Todd Le True de Crew Thomas to pitch me the best GameCube games to be remade
Okay.
in 2023.
I feel like we need to pause.
He has a hand up. He would like to.
We
be
do a
called on.
thing where we all give each other nicknames every episode. Matt, what is that?
That's garbage. That's
Well, that's nothing.
Made up words.
So they're not made up words. Actually,
All words are made up.
I was gonna say they're French, but I don't know if they are. But they are real things I got off a website.
What does that mean?
It's nothing.
If I gave you one guess of what theme I would do for nicknames at the Wisconsin live show, what would it be?
Me with the hand. Is
Yeah.
it? Are we cheeses?
Your
Did you name us after
cheeses! They're
cheeses.
different
Fair.
cheeses.
That's feels like typecasting
we're
for the state.
we're
but-
doing the thing when you go to a concert and they're like, "What's up, Milwaukee?" and everyone goes nuts. That's what we're doing right now. So
Yeah.
please clap.
We're all in.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're all in
So
Columbus, Ohio. So
responsible.
whenever any concert comes to Columbus, they're always like, "OH," and we're like, "Oh yeah, we get
That's
it."
for nobody except for us.
I know. Well, we did that, but with cheese for you. I
Anyway,
guess.
we're moving on.
All right, so let's get out of the intro and into the actual topic
Please,
of the
God.
podcast. My dudes, what GameCube game classic are you suggesting that we remake in the year of our Lord 2023? Give the folks at home a quick rundown of the plot or any memorable moments from the game to jog their memories. And while you're at it, tell me what makes this game so deserving of a remake. Andrew, we will start with you.
Yeah, I'd love to. And right before, I'm just going to say a quick disclaimer for anybody listening on this feed later. There is a PowerPoint. There is a PowerPoint, and you will have access to that PowerPoint in the show notes. Insert more information here. All right, Matt,
Andrew.
what if I told you I could give you a gaming experience that is completely bereft of any perceivable story, uses a 2-button mechanic, and culminates in you fighting a supersized gorilla on top of a flaming asteroid traveling miles above Earth, and also there's a robot narrator?
Andrew, I would tell you that's my favorite game.
Matt, what if I told you that game already exists, and its name is Donkey Kong Jungle Beat?
I have not played Donkey Kong Jungle Beat.
Instead of explaining to you what Donkey Kong Jungle Beat is, I'm going to play a 1-minute video.
Well, but I can't see. All right, hold on.
We rehearsed this earlier.
This is fantastic Foley work.
Okay, you guys, has anyone played Donkey Kong Jungle Beat? Okay,
A lot of fans.
do y'all remember Sumo Kong? For those who don't remember Sumo Kong, I think this is the most insane thing I've seen in a game.
What am I watching?
This is two monkeys fighting each other.
Yeah. It's just, he's just going ham on him.
Big meaty claws of a monkey just slapping
Yeah,
around.
he's just going ham on him.
Why are they in space?
That's a good question. Why? Of course they're in space.
Somebody out here just said they're going bananas.
They're going bananas.
You can leave.
Incredible.
You can get out of here. Nothing gets better than that.
Incredible. So that's Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. Donkey Kong Jungle Beat is unhinged. It's wild. So let me just back up and tell you a little bit about how we got to where we are today. So you see, back when Rare split from Nintendo in 2002, it left our boy Donkey Kong without a real home. He was Nintendo's property, but Rare pretty much had built him as a franchise on the SNES and N64, so Nintendo didn't know what to do with the character. And then in September of 2004, we saw the release of Donkey Konga, a rhythm game made by Namco that stars DK and his Kong buddies drumming and clapping along to select Nintendo tracks, public domain songs, and 1997's The Impression I Get by the Mighty Mighty Bosstones.
Wait, what?
It was fine.
Todd, were you prepared for Andrew to pull the Mighty Mighty Boss Stones card today? I was not.
Matt, I was not prepared for Andrew to pull the Mighty Mighty Boss Stones card today.
I'm going to assume neither of you have also played Donkey Konga.
That's the impression that I get.
So, all right. Okay, that was really good.
That was really good.
That was very good. I have, actually. I owned Donkey Konga.
Okay, got it. So you then know, seeing as this was Nintendo in 2004, they did the thing that they love to do, and they doubled down on this weird but innovative tchotchke. Now, just to make sure they got as many kids asking for plastic bongos as possible, Nintendo released a marginally different Donkey Kong game titled Donkey Kong Jungle Beat in December of 2004.
These aren't the same games?
And it was another, rhythm game, like a DDR-style rhythm game, right?
There were nope. there were 4 total Donkey Kong titles that were usable with the Donkey Kongo bongos. Donkey Kongo bongos.
Donkey Dongos, continue.
Congo bongo magic. Now, speaking about strictly DK Jungle Beat, for those unfamiliar, the game is a platformer, but instead of like a normal control scheme, you have to use the plastic bongos. So you tap the bongo right to run, and it's like an auto runner.
Oh no!
Yeah, so you literally like
that sucks.
Yeah, it does. And you tap it left to run. There was also there's Donkey Kong is in the bottom left, and he's like a zoomed in version of like whatever he's doing, but it's just Donkey Kong rolling and punching.
Okay.
I don't know how that's helpful.
It isn't.
But so you tap the bongo right, so you tap the bongo left, and then there was a sensor that you could clap.
Yeah, the clap sensor.
And the clap sensor.
So they call it, yeah.
So you use the clap sensor to like pick up bananas, and then you hit it both to jump. So that's
Okay.
a platformer using the bongos.
I love it.
Yeah. So you move throughout the level by jumping off enemies and ledges. You rack up combos along the way. Now, when the game was released, it received moderate reception because it was the height of the GameCube hit era. and
Because it
everyone
was
hated Nintendo.
exceptionally mid.
People weren't ready for bongo technology is what it was.
Well, and that's the thing, like, what I've explained is absolutely insane, but the game is actually considered like a kind of a hidden gem. Like, people love this game. Also, the picture on the screen right now is DK throwing bananas at a space dragon, also in space. It's neat. It's
All
really
right.
neat. Anyway, it's the definition of a game that definitely shouldn't work, but somehow still does. And the in-house development team at Nintendo that designed the game would actually go on to be the lead designer of Super Mario Galaxy.
That's a big thing you just said. Like, that's
Yeah.
an important thing.
yeah.
So one could say Donkey Konga
Nope.
walked so that Super Mario Galaxy could run.
Donkey Konga bongoed so that Super Mario Galaxy could run. Right?
Anyway,
because
That's
you
not
have to
better.
bongo to run.
No.
Anyway,
You have to bongo to run.
No, you
said
did
that.
say we have to bongo
you do have to
run.
bongo to run.
Thank you.
My point being,
Bongo is a verb now.
DK Jungle Beat, as silly and experimental as it was, is the kind of game that I think people are willing to get weird for today that they weren't 20 years ago.
Okay, I did come here today to get weird, so I am into it. I'm into your answer.
Yeah.
I like where you're going. I'm excited to see what comes next. But Todd, I would now like to turn the floor to you.
I just wanted to hold the picture on Sumo
No, I'm
Kong
not
real
gonna
quick.
move quite yet. I think it's important that everyone brings this.
Just breathe this in.
We'll make it the cover. art
This
for
is
it.
an audio podcast. Like, you guys are seeing this, but this is an audio podcast most of the time.
So I'll go ahead and go.
Please
do it.
So, if there is something we can count on when it comes to Nintendo releases generation after generation, it's one word. It's perfection. We have proven it over and over again that Nintendo just doesn't miss. And the GameCube is that prime example of that. So there's also this universal truth of what is necessary for a great game. And again, this slide contains an exhaustive list of bad GameCube games. Listeners at home, it's a blank slide. There are some universal truths of what goes into a fantastic game. You know, you've got to have your heroic, flawed protagonist, supportive, colorful cast of characters, that long-standing conflict against an iconic villain, the quest for some important MacGuffin, usually it's golden, usually have to find it at the end. Again, you have to collect shiny objects. With every release of a game over and over again, new and increasingly complex gimmicks for each generation of those releases. These all fall into Mario games and Legend of Zelda games. So we're going to build off of that.
This is like the first paragraph of a book report where you just
In this
explain the
report, I
question
will.
to me.
Webster's Dictionary defines. So, thus, I present to you the perfect game deserving of a remake, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle for GameCube.
Wait, I just saw one person on the
We've
right
got
go,
a lot of excitement.
no, and then another person on the left go, yes!
I would say we've got 75% favorable reception to this.
Yeah, so for those unfamiliar, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle was excellent for a number of reasons that I will now tell you about. It literally has everything any game could ever want, period.
That's a bold statement.
Well, it's going to get better. Quite possibly the greatest game of all time.
He's really leaning into the 6th grade book report.
It opens with a snowboarding level. Nothing?
No, that level rips.
That's fair, it does rip.
It's objectively good.
It checks the box of an obligatory frustrating puzzle level, which is actually just every level that you have Knuckles. It's just not great for whatever.
just a
Except you
fine.
listen to the pumpkin rap in one of those. That's a little bit
The
different.
pumpkin rap is
Rap's a bob.
pretty good.
It goes fast. No further necessary there.
Ooh.
The Chow Garden whips ass. I'm just gonna say that. Got a fist pump in the back.
We've got one very, very...
Anyone who grew up with a
enthusiastic.
Tamagotchi, it just scratches that itch in your brain, that Neopet Tamagotchi itch to go to the Chow Garden. And also, it has the word battle in the title, which in the 2000s we were super into.
That is
I
a
think that
big
was a big
thing,
thing.
yeah.
But specifically, there is an amount of edginess in this game that is just perfect.
I hate
just,
this picture.
That's a terrible slide. Look at that edge. You can hear it. If you've been to the selection screen, you hear it in your brain right
So
now.
much Comic Sans.
Yeah. And as we all know, it included the great sign of a final boss battle, which, as Andrew already said, is fighting a giant space worm using the power of friendship. Which, again, that is what we had here.
It is the end of all things.
Didn't think it would culminate in this, did you?
No.
Yeah, you give us a prompt, we take it to space to fight with friendship. For those radical reasons and more, I will be proving to you today that this game is the most deserving of a remake in the year of our Lord 2023. Also, it just has really good plot. That slide says, maybe Eggman took the emeralds into outer space, ? And that's what took them to space. Also, I realize this is a remake of a Dreamcast game, but that's different, and this is different. I rest my case in prompt 1.
Okay, all right.
We bongo ahead.
We
bongo ahead.
on. I bongo away.
You bongo, he, she, we bongo.
I bongo so far away. Bongo to the hills. That's it. That's what I wanted. Bongo to the hills.
I can see Andrew's next slide, and I'm horrified.
Okay, so before we horrify people with another slide, let me first say to you, the wonderful audience, I had the general. They told me what games they were saying, but I didn't know anything else. So I'm processing this along with you, and I have a lot to think about. So I'm going to ask you another question.
What Matt is saying is that together you are trauma bonding, is what this is.
Yeah, we are. Okay, so prompt number 2. While a remake of a game may literally be reinventing the wheel, we certainly aren't blazing a trail when it comes to modernizing GameCube games. Mere weeks ago, Resident Evil 4 Remake was released to resounding reviews. Capcom really put in the effort to make Leon look even crispier in modern day graphics, but they also cut down on the merchants, what are you buying, by about 95%. So with that in mind,
What are you buying?
what are you buying?
Hey, what are
you buying?
What are you buying? Tell me about the most impactful cosmetic updates you'll make in your remake. Andrew, we'll start with you.
So I think graphical overhaul, that's obvious. But aside from that, this new version of DK Jungle Beat will change dramatically from the original. And what I mean by that, it's not going to be a 2D platformer. Rather, I want it to be a fully 3D third-person action game, a la God of War, Dark Souls. More importantly,
How did we
though,
get here?
let me finish. More importantly, I would like this entry to delve deeper into a well that has gone untapped for years.
Oh boy.
And that's the DK family tree. Now hold on for just a second.
Oh
I
god.
went off this ride.
Oh,
Now,
God.
Bongo me away.
Now, as you can see, I am pulling the red string together. Now, Donkey Kong Country gave us the basic building blocks. Donkey Kong, as we know him today, is the grandson of the arcade Donkey Kong, despite that game only being 13 years old. We then, in DKC 2, we got Dixie, and then Dixie brought her side of the family, which was then revealed in DKC3 and DK64. Did you guys know Tiny Kong and Dixie and Chunky and Kitty Kong are all related?
I didn't even know these monkeys existed.
I assumed they were all related. Which is
Also
bad on
rude.
me. That's
Also
an assumption
rude.
I need to look
Some
into
of them
on.
are related and some of them are not. And that brings me to the next point, which is the extended DK-verse.
Oh
What
God!
you're doing is a crime.
Because, you see, as we've discussed, some of the Kongs are related, but some of them aren't. For example, we've got Swanky Kong, the vaudevillian charlatan from
Wait.
DKC 2 and 3.
Wait.
Swanky Kong?
Okay.
He's got a lot of rings on his
I
head.
think saying that out loud puts you on a list. I don't think you can say Swanky Kong in 2023.
We've got Lanky Kong from DK64.
No, he's in jail.
And we've got my personal favorite, Eddie the Mean Old Yeti.
And there's a what?
Well, his last name isn't Kong, so that proves
It's
the whole
true.
thing wrong.
He's not related.
It's an adoption
He
kind of
married
thing.
in.
Oh,
Now,
you married him.
we have a lot to cover, but I want to focus on these 4 individuals. These are, and I'm going to zoom in. These are in clockwise order, starting from the left. Dread Kong, Karate Kong, Ninja Kong, and Sumo Kong. The latter being the one that you all got to see in that video.
Yes, the 4 genders of
The
Kong.
four genders.
Someone called the 4 fiends, if you will.
What?
Of
Oh,
Donkey
God.
Kong Jungle Beat. Yes, that's right.
The
This is an
4
FF4
high
reference.
gods of Donkey Kong Jungle Beat.
This FF4 reference in my PowerPoint says these 4 fiends report to Dolbez.
No one gets that.
Did you make a Final Fantasy IV reference at our first live show?
I did.
You asshole.
I didn't consent to that.
I paid the money, so I get to make the
It's
jokes.
fair.
Now, going back to talking about the Kongs, right? As we discussed, they all have the surname Kong, so one would think there has to be some relation to somebody around this chart. Maybe there's a Kong patriarch high above where Cranky, where this all relates to. We'll never know. Regardless, the best thing about Donkey Kong Jungle Beat were these boss fights, these punch-out ass boss fights. And as you saw in that Sumo Kong video, you get this like over-the-shoulder view of Donkey Kong like punching up, punching down. It's really strategic, it's really cool, and you get this like intro screen of like Donkey Kong DK versus Karate Kong. And it's so silly, but it's so good. I love it so much.
Is there an announcer voice for the boss fights?
Did you not hear the robot narrator?
I blocked it out. I blacked out for a solid
I'm
minute.
sorry,
to be honest.
per my last email, deserve it. Please
Yep.
continue.
Yep. My point is, I think to really amp up the drama of this remake, all 4 of these Mega Man-ass gorilla bosses should be fully voice acted.
I'm in.
And the only answer is, I'm sorry I put a Final Fantasy joke in here. That's
Well,
the
at least
title.
you apologize for what
And the
you did.
only answer is Matt Berry from What We Do in the Shadows needs to voice at least one, if not all 4 of them.
Okay, so we're doing like a Medea's Family Christmas with Matthew Berry as Funky Kong.
I thought of this earlier, you know that like, I think of Matt Berry coming in and saying, "Why aren't you the slyest guy in New Donk City?"
One more time,
New
you can take.
Donk
You want a
City.
clean take on that?
Yeah,
one?
can you
Just
give me
to
that
keep
one
it-
more time, please?
New Donk
We
City.
drove from Columbus to hear you say New Donk City 3 times into a microphone to our new friends.
Oh, I'll give you a clean one
I
later.
don't want it.
Also, Seth Rogen, give me Donkey Kong. That's it. I'm done. Thank you.
All right. Okay.
I don't want to sit with what we have any longer.
Do you guys want to see? Do you want to see this one more time?
Each
Is this
and
helpful?
every one of your voice options is higher on my list than Chris Pratt's Mario, so you get a pass.
It's me.
It's a thin pass, but it's a pass. Okay, Todd, tell me more about. I was gonna try and say an abbreviation of Sonic Adventure 2
No,
Battle,
it's
and I
best not to.
didn't get there. So go ahead, tell me more about Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
So you're asking about improvements. Ask anyone what Nintendo console that also had an attached handle for carrying had the most stunning graphical performance in the early 2000s, and they're going to say GameCube. That's pretty easy. So,
It's a narrow field.
well, shut up, man. Don't embarrass me in front of our new friends. So, just to drive it home, visuals, no update necessary. This shows you the clear updates we got from the Dreamcast version with the GameCube version. Cannot be improved
So
upon.
much glare.
Yeah, easily peak graphical performance from the GameCube. The Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, it put that engine on full display, therefore we will not be messing with those pristine graphics. What we will be doing, though, is we're going to capitalize on the success of the movie franchise and fully embrace the movie-accurate voices. We need that in the game. And so just to go through here, we have Ben Schwartz, the Sonic the Hedgehog. We've got Jim Carrey from Dr. Eggman, obviously from the movie. Colleen O'Shaughnessy is Tails, hitting that in this game. We've got Idris Elba as Knuckles. The more Idris Elba we have, the better. It's just kind of a policy that we have here at Debate This.
Hey, can we just take a second and all, as a society, remember that Idris Elba was Knuckles?
I honestly forgot that for a minute.
When I looked that up, I was like, oh shit, I just want to think about this.
Yeah.
Just only all the time.
I think what was so great about that is he just really just played it straight. It was like,
He sure
Sonic,
did.
you should do this thing.
Sonic, I'm Idris Elba as Knuckles. You should do this.
I have big hands and Lego feet.
James Marsden, we're in a scene together. Sonic, let's go.
Take me to your donut lord.
The thing that we are going to do, though, since we're not messing with the graphics, those are perfect, we're going to include some new characters into the franchise that have been there before and need to come back. So if you watch the Chip and Dale movie, you will remember that Tim Robinson played Ugly Sonic. He will be in this game.
That picture is rough.
There's no teeth on that picture, but we will have ugly Sonic here, teeth and all. I will not be taking questions at this time. We'll also be bringing in some characters that were in Sonic Adventure 1 but did not make it into 2, and so that is, we will have Big the Cat played by Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
You're gonna have Dwayne The Rock Johnson as Big the Cat.
Yeah, we deserve this.
Dwayne the Cat Johnson.
Keep trying. What else can we get out of this?
Big the Rock Cat.
Big the
Rock Cat. Big the Rock Cat.
I want to sit with that for a
Big, comma,
second.
the Rock Cat.
Yeah.
Period.
Also,
That just sounds like a Pokemon.
Yeah, put it on a shirt. I don't know.
there are some characters that were in Sonic Adventure 2 Battle that we've not referenced yet. So, of course, Shadow the Hedgehog will be played by Keanu Reeves. I googled edgy actor and guns.
Okay, that kind of rips, honestly.
It started as a joke, but I'm actually really happy with it now that we're here. I will not be taking questions of this either. Also, Vin Diesel will be voicing all the Chows of the Chow Garden.
This picture.
We have him down to record 30,000 unique lines for the Chow Garden.
I like that he's wearing as much clothes as the Chow is wearing.
Well, it was a reverse image search, and that's what brought me here.
Sure.
Wait, hold on 1 second. So I need to be honest with both of you guys and say that
It's about family.
What? No.
It's about drive.
It's
Too Chow, too furious. Is that anything?
Stop. While I did play Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, I was not a Chow Garden patron. I did not patron the Chow Garden.
Yeah, fair.
What sound do the Chows make? I would like it first as the sound from the game, and second, your impression of Vin Diesel's
If I
Chow line.
recall, it's a little New Donk City.
No,
It's mostly coos. Like they just make like little noises, like ooh, and then you like when they move and they get dropped and they make noises, but they don't say words. Vin Diesel's gonna say, "It's about family." Every time you pick him up, I guess. I don't know.
But it's like a shitty wave file where you can hear like the background noise.
Admittedly, I've not seen a Fast and Furious movie since whatever one we saw. No, that was Hobbs and Shaw, and he wasn't even in that.
No, that was the one that Rock was sweaty. That was 5.
Oh,
That's
The Rock
doing a podcast.
Okay, specifically, The Rock is sweaty in every movie. We've covered this on the podcast before. Anyway, the point here being that we don't need to do anything to the graphics. And frankly, we can't because the budget's going to voice acting. It's all voice acting. That's what we've put it all into. That gets the butts in the seats. Kids want voice acting. Let's just stare at Vin Diesel being shirtless in this photo, smoking a cigarette on his balcony a little bit longer.
Kind of looks like Paul Giamatti from this angle.
Are you done?
You wish.
Oh, God. Okay. So, again, every one of your suggestions above my line of Chris Pratt's Mario, so I owe you the same pass that I gave Andrew. I'm not happy about that. I'm not happy about the price of my pass. It should be more expensive. It is not.
3 Chow Tokyo Drift. Is that anything?
No, it was Chowkio Drift.
Chowkio
Drift
shit,
was
that's
right
so
there. Okay.
All right, pack it up.
Look, we have one final question. So,
Okay.
the final question of this debate, prompt number 3, gaming has come a long way since the early 2000s. As controllers and game engines have become more advanced, we, as a culture, have learned new and better ways to play video games. To pull on that RE4 example again, Capcom made it clear that the remake would be free of the QuickTime events that at times were just downright oppressive in the original. Much like a good cover song, I firmly believe that a remake can only be successful if it has its own unique feel. So, please tell me how you will update the gameplay experience of your game and how it will have a distinctly different feel than the original. Andrew.
Yeah, I'd love to answer this. So, Matt, one major difference between gaming now and gaming back in 04 is that tough games are in. Tough games are hot. People want to be challenged, as proven by the almost infinite number of Dark Souls imitators out there. I am literally wearing a Dark Souls shirt. People want to be challenged these days. Speaking of Dark Souls, let's talk about challenge runs, namely those with alternative controls. Now here we see a streamer doing a full Dark Souls 3 run with 2 pairs of DK bongos. Have you guys ever seen Super Lewis 64? I highly recommend you check him out. He's also, if for any of the FF14 sickos out there, he just finished a full Dark Knight Soul replica, or sword replica. So he's swinging this huge great sword and doing MMO rotations. This is relevant.
You're spiraling.
The people want to know. Anyway, the point being, this kind of shit is in, right? People want to do this. So there is a real demand for specifically DK Congo bongos out there in the market.
You can't just say that. You can't
Yeah,
just
you
say
don't
that.
know that.
You don't know that there isn't.
I need you to cite your source.
I
good
don't
with this
know
now.
that you don't know that there isn't, and I say we give the people what they probably want.
Who are these people?
The people that I talked to before this. We will remake Donkey Kong's Jungle Beat from the ground up, not as a platformer, but a fully 3D character action game. Swing, clap, jump, and punch your way through punishing level after level as everything on DK Island with a heartbeat tries its best to kill you. Now, just like Dark Souls, the game will climax in these epic boss battles against the likes of Dread Kong, Ninja Kong, Karate Kong, and Sumo Kong.
And Matthew Berry.
Matthew Berry.
Jackie Daytona.
All of whom have precise attack patterns that you'll need to take hours and hours to memorize. Y'all, this game is gonna be hard. You thought Tropical Freeze was hard? Oh boy, you're gonna spend hours and hours trying to perfect your bongin.
You're what? What did you just say?
Your Kong and bongin.
You can't.
Anyway, here's Eddie the Mean Old Yeti.
All right.
I want to, real quick, this is important. So I found Eddie the Mean Old Yeti also has a Twitter.
Oh, he does.
What?
Oh,
You
shit.
have to see this.
Hold on, what?
Someone tweet
So,
at him. Let him know we're talking
Eddie the Mean
about
Old
him.
Yeti is from, so the DK cartoon, which like we don't have enough time to talk about the DK
That is a
cartoon.
different podcast.
The French DK cartoon. It's chef's kiss. But one of the characters is this character here, Eddie the Mean Old Yeti. He's white Donkey Kong. And
Okay.
some super fan took it upon themselves just to make an Eddie the Mean Old Yeti Twitter handle.
Is Eddie the Mean Old Yeti problematic? He looks problematic. He
Probably.
looks like he's tweeted things that are going to surface 5 years from now that didn't age well, and I'm not ready to unpack that.
Well,
He is both mean and old. So.
Well,
my charge to you out there in the audience and you listening at home is go check out and follow Eddie the Mean Old Yeti on Twitter because he's only got like 69 followers or 70 followers. Nice. And
could've just said
and
70.
this person hasn't posted since 2019 and I feel like they just need to win. So
Okay.
if you take one thing from today, or if you take 2 things from today, one is go follow me, Eddie the Mean Old Yeti on Twitter, and 2, Swanky Kong is there. Swanky Kong exists.
if Eddie the Mean Old Yeti hasn't experienced life outside of his Yeti hovel since 2019, the world's changed a lot. Eddie, he's not going to be ready for that.
I cede my time.
Eddie the Mean Old Yeti won't be ready. That's it. Okay, so Todd, Andrew has ceded the rest of his time and left you to tell
No,
me
it's-
about the updates to the gameplay of Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
Yeah. Regarding controls, 3D Sonic technology has only gotten better in the past 20 years. Citation needed. So we can just go ahead and just leave that alone. Since no one has complained on the internet ever about a 3D Sonic game, we're all good. Now, what is important is that the kids are just begging for motion controls. Motion controls always make the gaming experience better. Citation is needed again. We're gonna be adding that into this remake. That's right. Now your favorite Sonic moments can be enjoyed like we all enjoyed Skyward Sword, which is by putting our whole motion control-lissy into the first hour of the game.
Whoa. Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Well, it's said and we can't take it back. For the first hour of gameplay before then half-heartedly just finishing by kind of softly swinging your wrist while you're laying on the couch sideways horizontally. You know how we all enjoyed Skyward Sword. Case in point.
What just happened?
The critical success of Nintendo Labo. Side note, holy shit, do you guys remember Nintendo Labo? Whoever saw one of those in real life? Look at these GIFs, it's unhinged. There's a bird. What's that bird doing? There's a man just punching at this TV.
He looks like he's having a good time.
Further, just look at this. What's this nightmare abomination? What eldritch horror needed to happen that this elephant can draw a 3D squid? That's nothing. What it actually is the future. And the future is now when we just embrace the motion control technology that is literally at our fingertips. With enhanced motion controls, you can punch like Knuckles by wildly swinging your fist haphazardly around the room. Kind of like how Buzz Aldrin swung on the dude that told him he didn't land on the moon. Do you guys remember that? Buzz Aldrin punched a dude who said he didn't land on the moon. He told him what's for.
He sure did.
That's why you don't tell Buzz Aldrin he didn't land on the moon. You can also run like Sonic by pumping your arms for a little bit and then throwing them behind you and then running like a Naruto character. And, you know, isn't that what people want? A fully immersive Sonic experience. All because you can have motion controls. And isn't that just what we want at the end of the day? More motion controls? Can I go back to the Nintendo Labo? I'm going to go back to the Nintendo Labo. Yeah. Look at that stupid elephant. What's that?
I'm going to say the same thing to you, Todd, that we both said to Andrew.
Yeah.
When you say everybody wants motion controls, I say, I don't know that you know that.
Well, I put a slide that said I needed that citation. I haven't had time to look it up.
Yeah, we did put this together last night.
Yeah, but like, okay.
We went and drank bourbon, and then we put a slideshow together. Matt, what do you want?
We did. There's excellent bourbon in this town.
I'm going back to the elephant picture.
Yeah. Okay.
What is this? Why does it have to look like an elephant?
It was Nintendo's excuse to sell cardboard for $60. That's what it was. They sold cardboard and rubber bands for $60.
Real legitimate question. Who here in the audience has ever seen Nintendo Labo in the flesh or used Nintendo Labo?
Hey, we got a couple.
That is 4 more people than I thought were going to say yes.
Can you please, like, what is the use case? What was the use case? Building a piano?
Okay, the piano is rad.
And the end game of that peripheral is that you throw it away.
Well, you recycle it.
Sure.
Unless you got pizza grease on it, then it can't be recycled.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, remember when Buzz Aldrin punched a dude?
But Buzz Aldrin could pretty much the Knuckles of NASA.
That's what they called him.
Oh God, I'm the moderator of this podcast, and we're talking about Buzz Aldrin.
Well.
All right,
we did this to ourselves.
We need to wrap this up, so please, if you could, just give me like a tight, one sentence, your conclusion paragraph of your 5-paragraph essay. Give me your closing statement as to why your game should be remade in 2023.
He's the leader of the bunch.
Stop it.
No.
Is that anything?
You do not get free credit for doing the DK rap.
Okay. DK Jungle Beat. I legitimately think that a Bongo-centric 3D action-adventure Donkey Kong featured game is what America needs in 2023. Switch gamers need something that's challenging and that's something that they can post online about and talk about on Twitter and other social media.
And on the Nintendo Switch Online app.
And on the Nintendo
Which
Switch Online
is peak
app.
online gaming, if we're being real.
Yes.
Truly. Okay, all right, that is objectively a closing statement. And Todd,
Thank
one
you.
from you, please.
Follow me.
No,
Set me
He did it
free.
no.
too. He did the
You
thing.
don't get
We
free
can
credit
escape from this
for
city.
doing Escape from the City. You do
High five.
not.
Yeah, that's
You
great.
do not. Did you guys plan this?
No,
and
we
not
didn't.
tell me?
But when inspiration hits you, just go with it.
Yeah.
Listen.
We bongin'.
Stop it.
We gongin' bongin'.
The Dreamcast was closed with Sonic Adventure 2. The GameCube was opened with Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. And here in the year of our Lord and Savior, 2023, we can gotta go fast with Sonic Adventure 2 Battle Tokyo Drift.
Nailed it.
Chokyo Drift or whatever you said.
I thought you were going to give me like a James Bond ass title of Gotta Go
No.
Fast again.
No. Oh, yeah.
Sonic
Go-
Adventure
go-
2
Gotta
Battle.
Go Fast
Gotta
Another
Go
Day.
Fast Another Day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotta
Sonic,
Go Fast
Sonic
Forever.
Adventure 2 Quantum of Going Fast.
All right, excellent.
Sonic Adventure 2 Skyfall.
All right, well,
Skyfall.
we have heard your arguments. Thank you. I'm saying thank you for you guys. If you're not thankful, that's okay. Here's the thing. These guys are going to take a minute to say some good vibes about each other's answers. And typically, what would come next would be myself, the moderator of the podcast, picking between this. However, I'm going to shulk that responsibility onto you, the listening audience. So, while these guys give each other some good vibes, take a little time to think about whether you would prefer a remake of Donkey Kong Jungle Beat or Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Guys, go ahead and give each other some good vibes.
I'll let you guys check out Eddie the Mean Yeti's Twitter in the meantime.
If I had to choose between which slide they had to keep looking at, it was going to be between Eddie the Mean Yeti and Buzz Aldrin punching a dude. So I'm glad it's Eddie.
that is
we'll
a
do
Yeti.
a 50-50.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
So this is while I talk. Okay, so yeah, so one of the things we always like to end our show with good vibes because it really reinforces that we're all just here doing bits. We're all just here having a good time. And Todd, I really like Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, everybody, come on!
It rips.
That game rules.
That game rips.
That game rules.
It
Yes.
rips.
It's the best opening in any other game in any game period.
What other game, aside from like SSX Tricky, puts you on a snowboard in the first 15
Snowboard
seconds?
Kids, 1080. Downhill
Okay,
adventure.
they go to another school, Matt. They're not here.
In the first 10 seconds.
Yeah.
It's very, very rare. And I really like that you reminded me that Buzz Aldrin punched a man.
That was just a fun happenstance of doing the research for this last
It's a
night.
good fun fact.
Yeah. Good job.
I don't think there is a better franchise that uses bongos as a controller than Donkey Kong.
I agree.
Which
Short list.
this is no wait, the picture I want to look at is the Kong family tree because it is the scribblings of a madman is what this is. So I
didn't make this either. There is a citation here. Someone else on Tumblr spent a lot of time on this.
The fact that you validated someone else on Tumblr is nice. You gave them something to live for in this.
Oh,
slide,
sorry,
and I-
DeviantArt.
In DeviantArt, my
The
bad.
other Tumblr.
Yeah, I've never played any of the bongo-centric games, and I just never ever will. But I appreciate that you tried to sell me on that, and that you have to bongo right to go forward. I'm gonna leave here with that knowledge.
Really, like if you take one thing away, if you take three things away, go find Mean Old Yeti on Twitter.
Yeah.
Something Swanky Kong. 3, as a nation, we should bongo right to move forward.
Right. You and I bongo together, and when
Yep.
there was only one set of bongos in the sand, it's when you carried me.
Clap. I was referring to the sensor, the clap sensor. But yeah, please clap. Yeah,
That's fair,
absolutely.
that's fair.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you for giving each other some good vibes. I would give you good vibes, but I don't have any.
There's none to give.
That's fair.
And that's okay. So, let me ask you, our fun little crowd here, and let me also say, understand, it's 20-8 on Saturday of the convention. I don't need big waves and cheers.
Nah.
But could I get like...
You stay seated.
Yeah.
I just need some like crowd response, and I'm gonna ask first for Andrew's answer and then for Todd's answer. So, give me some interaction and some yips and yaws if you think that Donkey Kong Jungle Beat should be the game remade in 2023.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Great. That was a fully subjective measurement. And now, please give me some other interaction if you think that Todd's answer of Sonic Adventure 2 Battle should be remade in 2023. I'm not gonna lie, that sounded exactly the same.
Pretty good.
Exactly the
I
same.
wouldn't have it any other way.
What do we do? Where do we go from here? We're in uncharted territory.
We combine them at the Olympics in
Yeah.
2024 the way God intended.
I think that's the answer.
with
Sonic and
bongo
Donkey
technology.
Sonic and Donkey Kong at the Congo Bongo Olympics.
Two bongos, too furious.
And I think that's a perfect place for us to wrap it up. So,
I think that'll do it.
with that said, thank you all
Thank you so much.
for listening and hanging out with us. I've got a little outro thing, and then I'll break the bit again. This is me breaking the bit, so I'll do the outro thing for the script. Can you tell we've never done this before? And then I'll come back and we'll talk again. So anyway, thanks for listening to Debate This. You can follow along with the arguments on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram at DebateThisCast, or on our website at debatethiscast.com. If you're joining us here at the Midwest Gaming Classic, we have some support the show cards down at the table that you can grab as well. And a massive thank you again to all of you who are here, the folks at the Midwest Gaming Classic, for giving us the opportunity to host our first ever live show, which we did not tell them that it was our first ever live show.
They let us in here.
But they let us in here anyway.
Made a terrible mistake.
We would love to meet all of you and accost you about our silly podcast if we have not already. We also have some free stuff over at our table, which is over there, which I know a lot of you guys have already been by, but feel free, we'll be here tomorrow as well for most of the day. Feel free to come and say hey, or if you didn't grab a sticker, a button, and if you were like, I gotta see if these guys are worth a sticker. I'm not doing anything at 7 p.m. and I'm gonna go make sure it's worth me getting a sticker. You can go get one of those now. And until next time, I have been Matt Cole.
And I'm Andrew, mean old Yeti, Bam Henderson.
And I'm Todd. The real Sonic Adventure are the friends we made along the way, Thomas.
And we are saying thank you for debating with us. And if you think we're wrong, you can come fight us behind the swing sets, nerds. That's the end of the podcast.
That's it. Woo! Thanks for coming.
Guys, thank you so much.